Negotiating salary or total compensation with some candidates can be tricky. Candidates are negotiating their salaries more than ever before, which is okay, but it shouldn't result in a deal breaker. So, handling such sensitive conversations tactfully is the key. With that in mind, I thought of sharing a few concrete action strategies to make salary negotiation with your high potential candidates as smooth as possible. Before we get into details, for those who don't know me, I'm Nikita, a SHRM certified HR. I have over a decade of experience in hiring professionals. In Recruitment Insights, I'm passionate about helping other recruiters and job seekers in reaching their career goals so that you can create a better future for yourself. While you're here, make sure you subscribe to my Recruitment Insights channel and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss any of my future uploads. Alright, this video is all about salary negotiation skills. But if you would like to learn more such skills to become a strategic recruiter, then check out the link above. I have created a detailed video on how to scale up yourself as a higher level recruiter. Plus, I have another video that walks you through how to build up a talent pipeline for your hard to fill positions. I'll put links of both the videos in the description below. Okay, let's get back to the main topic. Let me tell you, there is no one-size-fits-all strategy when it comes to salary negotiation. I'm going to walk you through a couple of ways that work for me, and I hope the same for you. The first and foremost strategy that goes into salary negotiation is to build rapport and trust with your potential candidates to gain their confidence. In today's digital era, candidates have easy access to salary data. They conduct due diligence when it comes to checking what other companies are paying for a similar role. They reach out to various sites that provide salary insights, such as Glassdoor or LinkedIn Salary Insights, to seek info on how much a similar role is worth on the job market. Speaking of that, let your candidates know well in advance that an offered salary hinges on multiple factors, such as, on a candidate's front, it depends on how well a candidate does in an interview and their level of expertise. On a company's front, it rests on internal equity, which means what existing employees are currently making in a company. Work location, the nicheness of the skill, what is the level of the position, and how badly a company needs to fill this role due to revenue loss. And finally, on the industry side, it is determined by the availability of talent pool related to specific skill and the market pay range or cost of labor. Having said that, dive deeper with a candidate during an initial conversation by asking, why do they want to make a change? Or in other words, what does a candidate aspire for in a new job? Most of the time, you hear candidates giving a generic response, better opportunities. Ask them to be as specific as possible so you can help them get what they really want in their next job. Seek out if it is money, toxic environment, remote work, benefits, growth progression, or anything else that forces them to make a move. It could also be a combination of several such things. After knowing the exact reason for a job change, let your candidate know that you have their best interest in mind and you will try your 100% to match their expectation. Let them know why it's important for you. Tell them frankly, if they don't get materialized, it doubles the work for you. Alright, moving along. The next strategy is to get your candidate's salary expectation. Ask early on what is the number that a candidate is looking at. I have come across many candidates who do not reveal their number until you share the position budget with them. Some of them say it's too early to talk about salary. They wanted to know more about the position, scope of the work, growth within a team, people who they would be working with, company culture, benefits, and so forth. And that's a reason I would say be upfront and transparent to address such expected questions early in the process. If there is something that you don't have an answer to, let them know that you don't have the info handy and you would get back to them by a certain date. Be specific. Give them a sense that you really care about them. You understand that it's a big move to make and you love to answer all their queries and concerns before they make their educated decision. Now it's a candidate's turn to let you know what's the bare minimum number below which they wouldn't think of making a move. Or to be more precise, what they believe could be a deal breaker. It's really important to get their salary expectation early on to sense if they fit the bill. Be assertive and tell them respectfully that you don't want to waste anyone's time and effort just to know at the end that it's going nowhere. Now, either a candidate will share their minimum expected salary with you, or they will persist you to share a pay range with them. If you ask me, I'm not a great fan of sharing a pay range with a candidate, and here's why. I've experienced this many times. When I share a salary range with a candidate, they always hear the top of the range. And most companies, they settle somewhere at the midpoint. And this is something which makes candidates unhappy. They feel that they are being underpaid. And that's where they start renegotiating the offer. Just to avoid all this mess, I always share the minimum range with the candidate and let them know that this is something which I can offer them at this point of time if everything goes well. But as we move along the process and they really perform well during the interview, then I tell them that I will try 100% to get them a better offer. So when we offer candidates, say 5 to 15% more of what we discussed initially, makes them happy. There could also be a situation where a candidate responds with a straightaway no to your minimum range. In that case, I would recommend telling them the upper range, provided you let them know that an offered salary will be based on multiple factors, as we talked about in Strategy 1. Here is a quick recap for you. You can pause here if you want to review. Alright, another scenario could be when a candidate is not okay with the upper range too. In that case, educate them that there are other components as well that make the total comp package. And this leads me to explaining the different parts of the total compensation in Strategy 3. Elaborate different components of a total compensation to a selected candidate before extending a written offer. Educate candidates that every company is different. So is compensation structure and flexibility around different pay components. Never rush to extend a written offer without explaining it verbally. This way, you clarify many doubts in the moment and gauge their interest level too. For instance, if you're paying a little less than the market rate, try to make up salary shortfalls with one of the following options, such as sign-on or joining bonus, remote or hybrid work, more vacation days, or you can call it PTO, relocation expenses, annual bonus, reimbursement on completing certifications, and so forth. It totally depends what your company is most flexible with. This brings me to the last strategy, rebuttal more salary expectation, competing or counter offers. If a candidate demands more salary, ask them what made them come up with that high number. Ask them to justify why they are worth more than what they have been offered, so that you can prepare a business case and present in front of your leadership or comp team for a better package. Also, if they are holding another offer, ask them to produce one, so that you have some base to review for salary revision, only if that's a possibility. With that, now you have 4 concrete action strategies to have that smooth salary negotiation with your candidates over the entire hiring process. And hopefully, you will be able to turn your offered candidates into successful hires. And here's your chance. If you learned anything new today, or if you have any point to add, I would love to see that in the comments below. It's a great way to learn and share from each other. Also, if you enjoyed this session, be sure to let me know. And you can do so by giving a thumbs up on YouTube and subscribing to my channel so that you will never miss any of my upcoming sessions. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you next time.